If this was my shower, I can bet you I'm running all of them at once. The body sprays, this, and this. And I'm just standing there like arms wide open. Yeah, that feels like 110 degrees. Okay, so we got this Moen. It's S3104. This is their smart shower valve. So you have hot and cold coming in to the unit, and then these are each different leads heading to different components within the shower. So like shower head, spray wand, body sprays, rainfall head. So our client was able to get this from Moen because this one has failed on them. And the reason they came to that conclusion is because of they were having issues with power outages. Okay, I just want to make sure. Issues with power outages. The screen inside the shower, which I'll show you guys afterwards, died. So they sent them a whole new system. So luckily down here I have these shut-off valves. I did originally shut the whole entire house off. And then once I got into here and I saw the shut-off valves, I went and turned the whole house back on and just shut the valves down at the bottom. Let's unplug this battery component in case that's a backup battery in case you lose power. Now this unit can connect to Wi-Fi and connect to your phone, which is a little too much for me in terms of like it's overkill. But at the end of the day, it's what people like to have. We did verify that we have the 120 volts at the outlet here, so that is not our issue. So what I'm going to do is pull these mounting screws out. And I should also have just enough access to get the 4 leads on top here disconnected. So this wire goes up the cabinet and through the hole to where the controller is. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this like that. This can come out. And we're going to tape our new control wire end to that, and then we'll pull it through like any good electrician would do. Alright, let me get those 4 pieces loosened up, and then I'm going to have to use my right angle bit to get these 2 top mounting screws out of here. So you know, I got plumber hands, is that I loosened all 4 of these by hand without the need of channel locks. Now, the question is, can we get in there to get those screws? Sorry if my camera angle isn't that great. I'm gonna have to do a good old trick. Take the bit off and take the head off the bit so I could shorten this like that. And then I can get in there better. Okay. For those of you that are unfamiliar, this is Milwaukee's like OG right angle bit, and you can see it's not a perfect 90-degree angle. I've had this bit since I started in this trade 40 years ago. That's a running joke we have between Derek and I. And it's a running joke I used to have with my old coworkers at my previous employer, is because tradesmen always like hype up the amount of years they've been doing their respective trade. So like whenever I do something like, or I do a good job at it, I'll be like, yeah, that's what 30 years of experience will get you. Now, let's not, oh my gosh, let's just take a look and see on this new one, because we're not going to be using these. Let's see, do they pop into it? They do. So that's the only downside, is that I need to pop each one out, which, I mean, yeah, I have pecs. So I do have the ability to wiggle the pecs. Just get... And there's these filter screens, and it has the instructions here on how to go about removing them, which for learning purposes, let's just take a look real quick. See, so obviously you shut the water off, power the controller off, you push this in and slide this to the left, and then this is supposed to just pop out, which seems hard to do by hand. Then your filter screen comes out. Cool. I'm curious to see what the old one looks like. I'll save these in this box here for them, just in case, because you never know in the future they might need one of these O-rings. It'll be nice to just have on hand. Okay, so if I can at least get these bottom ones to pop out like that. There's one, and there's two. And now, if I can come forward with it, my only concern is there's going to be a bit of water that bleeds out from the risers. So let me just go get some towels. So I'm going to make the assumption that this one that was labeled B is like the rainfall, because the amount of water that came shooting out of this thing. Okay. Let's just see real quick what these filter screens look like. Not even retrievable. Nope. That one is. Not bad. They do have a whole house filtration system. But that one is seized up. I don't know how often it is recommended to do the filters. We'll check what the paperwork says afterwards. I'll just set this off to the side for now. I will say, at least whoever installed this had the sound mind of leaving the access for the future of it. Okay, let's get this inside of here. Let's get our towel. Let's just get some of these snugged down. Whoever made these initial connections to these brass adapters on here used shark bite fittings to go from the brass to the PEX, which is fine, I guess, because it's not really under pressure like when not in use. I guess I didn't want to sit there and solder on 4 1/2-inch PEX by solder adapters. PEX by sweat. Okay. that one. Let's see if we can get this one. Now if I get these bottom holes lined up with where they were originally screwed in, the top ones should, knock on wood, be alright. Okay, so there's one. Okay. And I'll get these top ones in, we'll snug down our connections, and then we'll run our new wire and turn the water on. Okay, so I got the top screws sunk in there, so that's nice and solid now. I would say, well, I wouldn't say, but I know some people would be like, why bother with the top ones if you got the ones on the bottom? You should be alright, it shouldn't be a problem. And that could be true, but this valve, with it turning on and off and switching between the different control heads and whatnot, there might be some movement to it, and I don't want it to be banging inside the wall, because then that means I'll have to come back completely free of charge just to put 2 screws in when I should have done it from the beginning. So don't cut corners. This is essentially what I'm getting at. Okay, so here's our new plug. You can see it's almost like the old headphone wiring. Haven't seen this in forever. So this is our controller end, right? That's going to be going into our controller, which this is the old wire for it here. So what we're going to do is just set that to the side, because we will wind this back up. Couldn't find my electrical tape in my truck, so foil tape will do for now. If worst case scenario, this seems like it's going to be a pain to try to snake through, I'll just drop the other end, the auxiliary cord end. Can you tell purple primer has been spilling in my truck? I'll drop the other end in, and it should just drop right down to me. But we'll try this first and see what comes of it, if we can get it through that hole on the other side. Alright, okay. So here's the control. The U by Moen is what this whole system is referred to, and this is the part for the control. It's the old one, that's the new one. Here's where it comes through. So, let's see. This will come up and through that little hole, which doesn't look like it. I don't think I'm going to be able to make, because the wood backing. So let's see if I could snake the other end in. This is going to be a problem. Alright, I gotta figure out a way of getting this through here. Think, James, think. Alright. Where there's a will, there's a way. Let's see if I can do it like this with a skinny piece of foil tape so that this isn't so fat. And then once we get it up there, because I'm trying to think, we're at a decent height. I don't think I could reach up there. I can't even see up there. Alright. I re-taped it because I was pulling it through and it seemed like it was coming through, and then at the end the tape ripped off and the wire pulled out of the wall, which luckily I was able to drop it back down, reconnect to it. But I even said to the client that this seems like this would be the hardest part of the whole thing. And it's proven me right. So let's try this again. I thought I hit record, but I didn't. So I was pulling on the wire and using my screwdriver to just give me a bit of leverage to help lift it up and over. And now we are through. Okay. It just reminds me though, I need to take a roll of electrical tape from the shop. Because I don't know where mine went. I had it in the front cab of my truck, in my little cup holder. Bet you it's still there somewhere. But you know, the electrical tape wouldn't have ripped like foil tape does, even though this tape was very strong. Okay. I'm gonna put this new bracket on. Take this silicone off. Yeah, so one of the features that they boast about having is that you can, you know, turn the shower on from your phone, so that this way it warms up prior to you getting home. My whole thing with that though is that if your drain's clogged and you didn't know about it, that would be a bad situation. So I get the idea behind it, and I just, maybe if you're already home and you want to put the shower on, like, you know, turn it on, like, oh, I'll be up in a couple minutes. I don't know. I think it's kind of silly. Okay. So, I'm going to remove this plug off of here. And this is going to plug nicely into that. Toilet's closing. One thing I don't like about this is if the other end of this wire ever gets stuck inside the wall and you go to pull the controller off, then you're in a not good situation. Might have to pull the slack from the other end. Of course, of all days, I don't have dark. Yeah, see, this is where I'm in a bit of a pickle. All right. Okay. This should just, how does it clip on? Oh. Did I do it backwards? Yup. Moron. I put the bracket on backwards. Well, at least you guys can see firsthand what I was talking about. This hole is supposed to go into the wall. Which makes me think then I should get some silicone, some new silicone to seal up. Come on. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. I'm sure it said it in the instruction manual too. But as we all just learned together, this goes in like that. Lesson learned. I don't like. It's like that's the angle of it. There we go. It's better. better than what it was. Just get this out of the clip here so that it doesn't mess up. You know, I want it to stick on there, but I don't want it to be permanent. Okay, take two of getting this thing to clip into place. All right, let's get the wire back on. Let the wire fall back into the hole. That's it. Okay, let's go put the water on and then start hooking up our power. I'm gonna get the water turned back on. Something running. Or is it just pressurizing? So it sure sounds like something's running. Let's go see. Yeah, the shower head was dripping, so why don't we do this? Let's plug in all our stuff and go to the control panel and make sure everything's off, and then we'll turn the water on. I just want to pull one strand of this out. Yeah, so according to the client, 3 years old is how old this original one was. Which, if you ask me, is not that great. Okay, we're gonna plug in our backup power source. Let's see if that closed everything. Really? Is there like a protective cover here? Are you gonna take everything back off? Yes, there is. Okay, so let's do the battery. That should be in there. My communication wire. Yeah, so 3 years old. A tree came down from the neighbor's property and caused some mayhem. Apparently everything with some sort of control board in it died in the house. Okay, now that I have the water open, so it seems like it needs power to be closed. So that means this valve is normally open. It's very odd. Alright, let's go play around with it and take a shower. So you, over here. Let's see, English. Oui, oui, bonjour, or hola, como está? Let's see. Next. Americans, we use Fahrenheit. No. Most people don't care about that. Just look at the gap in that thing. Maybe water gets in the wall there. Alright, I don't feel like getting rained on. Oh. Yep, almost getting rained on. Okay, it's that one. Okay, I'm gonna have to commit to it and then switch the setting. Ready? Hand spray. This one off. Nope. This one. There we go. Okay, that's cool. So it's got sensors built into it to actually read the temperature. It's nice. so it's not just playing a guessing game. We make sure the body sprays work too. Body sprays. Yep. Okay, shut those back off. Let's go up to feels like 90. If this was my shower, I can bet you I'm running all of them at once. The body sprays, this, and this. And I'm just standing there like arms wide open. Yeah, that feels like 110 degrees. Okay, your shower is ready. That's cool. So obviously it adjusts, balancing the water to get the correct temperature. All right, shut her down. There's no, because this doesn't sit flush, no matter what I do. So it just sits on like that. The U by Moen. I'll let them play around with the Wi-Fi. That's their own thing to worry about. I feel like it could, it's better. Okay, see you.